What's up, everyone? Guess who's back? I've survived in the dark, damp, scary, terrifying places with whence I have been sequestered for the past, I don't even know how long.
Welcome in, everybody.
Proof of life.
Skinner, Paint Liquor, Big Bob, Sarcastic.
What's up, everybody? It's great to see y'all again. How I have missed you. And your comments.
That's right. Big day. Big day today.
We got a lot of cool stuff we're going to talk about. And paint. And stuff. And things.
Yep.
And stuff again.
And stuff again.
What is up? Paint Liquor, Big Bob, Sarcastic Grandpa, Skinner, Rattle Can.
New brush-on primers.
Emery.
Yes, we are going to be showing off the new brush-on primers, which you can get right now at our store. It's live. They're live, folks. Here we go. We have black and white today, and I'm going to show you the. I'm gonna zoom in. Wow, Baby J's got a dance for us.
Hey. Give him the close up.
Here we go. You ready?
We'll give him the good old close up.
Brush on primer.
We have arrived at new brush on primers.
Introducing brush on primer. Wow.
Swifter, what's going on?
They're live right now, and guess what? They're live at this link right now. They are live, folks. So today we're gonna do an awesome test. Baby J is going to literally show you what they look like on two brand new fresh texture trainers.
It's true.
Who's
Very
this
true.
new guy? This is Jordan.
Who's this new guy?
HB
The Punisher. You
Lamb.
know better than that.
They're live.
All right. So, what do you guys want to see? Black or white first?
Giving a vote.
Hey, I
Who's this
am
new guy?
a benevolent stream
right.
participant, okay?
Flapjack
Reprime is
how
back.
they work through an airbrush. That's what the airbrush primer's for.
Yeah.
What makes them so different than airbrush primer? Great question. We are going to do a full demo for you today. So, Baby J, take it away.
Martin Lowing, I'm glad you've asked. Let me tell you a little something about brush-on primers. Sorry, I can't even.
That's great. All right. Give us the lowdown, Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, so the whole idea of having a brush-on primer is that we have a product that allows people to sit down and paint models wherever they are, whether or not they have access to a rattle can, whether or not they have access to an airbrush. This paint goes right onto your model, dries super nice, applies super nice, and then you can paint right on top of it with irregular paints. It is the best sort of solution for brand new people who have never touched hobby stuff before, because there's nothing easier than just slapping paint onto a model. You don't have to figure out how to use a rattle can. You don't have to figure out how to spray stuff. It's a great, I look at it also as kind of like a great, if you have your hobby emergency toolkit, right? This is something that everybody needs to have in their emergency hobby toolkit, right? You get some chipping stuff. You need to prime something really quick. It's great for taking to shows. It's great for putting in your little hobby bag, right? You're going to a friend's house and you have this new model and you're like, I don't have time to prime it before I go. You know, brush on primer is where it's at for this sort of stuff. And it works super good and it gives you a really great finish to work from. So we're going to test both of these out for you, both the black brush on primer and the white brush on primer, on some beautiful texture trainers here. We have some fresh, absolutely fresh. Baked today in a delightful bread oven for your delicious eating pleasure.
All right.
Except we're not eating these because you shouldn't do that.
Hey, really quick, thank you all. Source and Route the Great, resubs. Route 21 months and Source 12 months. Thank you so much. So, why has Adult J been avoiding us? Does he not love us anymore and chat not good enough for him? Why is AA battery just a roll button? Hey, Papa Chicken, baby Adult J is been crushing it over in sales.
I've been doing what I can to bring wonderful collections of hobby supplies to local stores in your areas, and generally just make the world a better place.
That's right. And he's going to be showing us a basically a full demo of these new brush on primers. And also this week, he's also going to be painting up Kamar Jin, which the Angra models will be going live this week too.
Correct.
So keep an eye on those. But all right, Jordan. So give us the lowdown.
All right. So
where do we start with these brush on primers?
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the Hunter. And I mean, you know, it says we're gonna do a fancy tutorial on how to use this stuff. This is gonna be the easiest tutorial that any of you have ever followed in your entire life. Because it's literally 2 steps. It's open your bottle of paint and put some on your palette. Dry palette, wet palette, doesn't matter. And then you're just going to take some on your brush. You're not going to thin it down at all. Doesn't need to be thinned down. And you're just going to throw it on the model. And one of the things that you're going to notice, if you've ever tried to paint directly onto a model before, that this paint is not beading up. It goes exactly where you put it. It's one of the wonderful things that we've got with this primer is that it just stays where you paint it on the model. Normally, your traditional acrylic and even airbrush primers are thin enough and have the right kind of balance of chemicals that they tend to bead up on plastic. They're meant to be airbrushed or sprayed through a rattle can. So they will tend to be in a situation where they are harder to apply by hand. You can definitely do it. It just takes a couple of extra steps. This, you can get a nice solid coat in one pass, and then you're done. I mean, I've got about, a quarter of the model already covered here. So it goes nice and quick. You'll just want to make sure that you avoid letting too much of this paint pool into the recesses, because you don't want to build up too much volume of paint. A thin layer is all you need. If you feel like something's really patchy and you want to go for a second layer after that, that's totally fine. But yeah, this is all you got to do. Just slap it on there and paint.
It's magic.
It's magic.
That's really convenient
magic
to have.
in a bottle.
It's really convenient.
And then this comes in as you've seen them before, we have the 2 bottles. We have the black primer and the white primer. They're both in our standard Pro Acryl 22 milliliter bottles with agitators. Same lids that you would normally get with any of our other paints. They'll fit really nicely into the slots in your go bag. Perfect for taking on the go. I will always have one of each of these paints with me whenever I travel with models. Just being able to have something on the go or even at home if you don't like the the use of a rattle can primer or you don't have an airbrush, this is a great solution for you if you have the time and you want to hand apply all your primer.
Iterator has a good question here about the white. Can you tint the white with regular color?
Well, how about this? We'll do a little bit of mix for you.
Oh, I'll switch to your palette.
Yep. So
that's black and white.
You can mix the primers together, and you can apply a nice gray primer on there. So you can almost even just paint with these primer layers. If you do mix in non-primer colors into this, you are going to lower the adhesive properties of the primer. So it's better if you start with a layer first and then you move up to the primer layers afterwards.
That's cool. I didn't really even think about the gray, like mixing them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why we don't have a gray, right? You just mix. You're going to apply it anyway. So if you want to mix and make a gray, you can make whatever shade of gray that you want. If you want a really, really bright gray, you can just paint with mostly white.
Skinner is asking, would you say these primers will dry more satin than the airbrush primers?
They will dry a little bit more satin, but not by much.
Yeah. Nice. And then you could just go right over this with the black primer again, probably.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome. Yes, for all of you joining in, welcome. And for the negative side of that, because if Jason's not here, you're late.
You're late.
The brush on primers chat are live. That link that I just posted, these are live right now. You can buy them on the store right now. They're live. So grab them while you can. People are giving them a whirl.
And you'll notice I'm not being super careful with this. I'm just trying to get the paint where it belongs.
Yep.
Throw the paint on the model.
Just so that chat knows as well, our matte varnish is also live today.
Oh,
we have
that's
matte
a big
varnish
one.
and primers.
You guys are in for a special treat today.
So, Jordan, I have a question.
I have an answer.
When you're applying this, right?
Yeah.
Would you say, do you prefer the one layer, or should you do 2 layers, or does it just depend on taste?
1 layer is totally fine. The nice thing is once you build up that initial layer, this is the whole thing about primer, right? The idea is you're giving a barrier between your regular acrylic paint that doesn't want to stick to the model and the primer, which is designed to stick to the model from the initial standpoint. So even if you do one quick coat and it's not 100% fully opaque, that's okay because you're going to be putting color on top of it. White, you might be in a situation where you want to give another layer on top just to give it a really nice level of opacity, but you don't need it, right? Because the job is done. You have a layer that your other acrylic paint is going to stick to that you now no longer have to worry about flaking off or causing issues for you as you're painting.
Yeah. Lumberjack Tim putting an order for the matte varnish. Nice. Yeah, the matte varnish is awesome. And going up to Osubi paints, I have an answer for this one. Question, I tried using oil paints in the weekend on a large piece of terrain and left it very glossy surface. If I used the matte varnish, would that knock the gloss down?
Yep, totally.
Oh, yeah. The matte varnish, the spray, and our matte varnish, the spray can varnish is fantastic as well, along with the new varnish that I just put into chat there, Osobi Paints. It's awesome stuff, so yes.
Yeah, you guys can see I'm just throwing this paint on here. And it's already starting to dry in a lot of spots. You can see it's mostly dry on the pants down here. The thicker you apply it, the longer it's going to take to dry. This will definitely take a little bit longer to dry than what you might normally be familiar with our airbrush primers or our rattle can primers, at least to the touch. Just because you're generally applying more paint at one time. So moving that paint around on the model to get a nice thin coat is really important. And you can see the spots where, there's a little bit extra paint, like on the chest here. Make sure that's in focus. Like I can come back in here and I can kind of brush at this to move around some of those areas where there's a ton of extra paint. Get it to dry a little bit quicker. How many texture trainers can you prime with one bottle of primer? A lot.
Yeah, quite a bit. Also, the Baby J shows what it does to the 2 gloss paints. Lumberjack Tim, you said 2 gloss paints.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, I think you're
he's
just saying
asking
2
about
gloss paints, like 2 actual paints. We don't have any glossy surfaces at the moment. Today we're doing the brush on primers. We might try the matte varnish maybe tomorrow on stream to show you guys.
Yeah.
Or maybe later we'll
I have some stuff that we can bring into matte varnish.
Matte varnish it. Yeah, we'll do a little demo on that. Papa Chicken, how does the primers do with wet blending?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like what blending the white primer into the black primer.
Is
Yeah,
that
it'll work great.
Yeah, we did that a little earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you can see I'll do it right here.
Nice.
Right. And then, like I said, just make sure that you keep working it so that you don't let a whole bunch of paint sit in those recess areas. You don't want to obscure that detail. So I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm going to go through and I'm going to remove some of this excess. But yeah, you can see just from that little bit of wet blending, we now have more of a gray finish. Need a little bit more. Bear with me one sec, you guys. Super Duper John, is there an advantage to brush painting? It just seems more tedious than rattle can or airbrush. That is true. It does take longer. However, think about it this way. Let's say you're in a situation, let's say during the winter, where you can't really use your rattle can because it's too cold outside. You're not gonna get a super high quality spray from your rattle can, and also you don't own an airbrush. How do you prime your models? You don't really, right? You're kind of stuck. You have to wait until the weather gets better to be able to prime your models, which sucks. That's lame.
And hey, here's a solution.
This is your solution, right? Also, the other situation too, let's say you're going to a friend's house and they don't have a white primer rattle can and you forgot your rattle can at home.
There you go.
But you packed a small little thing of white primer. Perfect solution. Let's say you just built a model and you don't want to keep around a whole thing of primer in a rattle can because you don't typically want to keep that stuff in like a car.
Especially here in Arizona.
Especially here in Arizona. You want to keep that stuff really stable temperature wise. So this is something that is always accessible, right? Having a brush on primer will always work for you. You don't have to have anything else other than a brush and a model to make it work. That's what's so wonderful about a brush on primer.
Yeah, TK421. One thing I love about brush on primer, sometimes I struggle to hit spots underneath a cape in recesses or anything like that. Yeah, that's absolutely something that it's useful for. Awkwardish Panda, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody.
Awkwardish Panda.
We're testing out our new brush on primer.
We're not testing it out. We're showing it on.
Oh, I guess that's true. We're testing it,
tested.
Showing you live what it looks like, chat. It's awesome stuff. It dries really nicely too.
And it paints, like, this is the thing that's just kind of hard to, like, have you guys feel, is just how nicely it paints on the model. Right?
Yeah, it looks like it, though. It looks very fluid, obviously.
If you've ever tried to hand paint models with, like, airbrush primer, which is mostly what people do, because, you know, brush on primer doesn't really exist until now. You have a lot of issues where the paint will beat up. You know, we could even demonstrate a little bit of that on the other model with our other primers.
Well, I'm definitely after this one, we'll show you guys what the white primer looks like too.
Also that, yes.
We have Baby J this week.
We're
folks.
back.
We're going to be showing you the brush on primers today. And then maybe we'll do a little matte varnish test tomorrow, right? Showing you the matte varnish and how that works. And then we're also during the week, after we prime today, we're going to do the Kamar Jin, the Angra model. And the Angra models also go live this week. And then Black Babbler has a question. How much or do we need to dilute the brush primer out of the bottle? Question mark.
At all. Just throw it right on the model.
It's pretty amazing.
All right. Now, we're moving forward onto and here's a good example of.
That's what it looks like dried.
Yep. We used it to prime the Kamar Jin earlier. And you'll notice it's got some areas where it's a little shiny, which is totally fine. Our regular paint's going to stick right to it, no problem.
But you just finished that right before.
Yeah, this took like maybe 20 minutes to do. Total.
That's awesome.
Deadbeat artists, you're going to be able to watch me paint it.
Yep. We're going to be painting up Kamar Jin. So if you're all interested in that, stay tuned this week. And here is what are we doing now?
All right. So you guys saw me use the black primer on the Hunter. Now we're going to use the white primer on the Warrior.
So walk me through your little process here of using white compared to the black.
Yeah. So
how do you approach it?
So you're going to notice with the white, because it's a much brighter color, you're going to get these like patchy brush strokes, right? So there's kind of two ways that you can think about this. One is it's an additional it is a base coat primer layer, which means that you're just trying to get a slightly bright color on there that your paint's going to stick to, and then you're going to go over it with another color. That's the easiest solution, because you're just going to throw like an airbrush layer on top of this, or you're going to you're going to start hand painting some brighter colors over it. And that's going to build up more opacity for you. So you don't need to spend more time on this layer. However, if you want to start with like a white base coat, you can do a couple of extra layers of this primer, and you'll build up nice opacity within probably a couple of passes.
Yes, Mo. Baby J are going to be making more shorts. Yes, we have a couple more shorts coming for you guys as well. We work those into the station again. Primary focus has been on doing the longer reels. So at some point we'll have some more of those, but a lot going on.
You guys love them. We know you guys love them. So we want to try and make sure that we continue to do them when we can.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was muted. My bad. Yes, in regards to the shorts question, yes, we have a couple in the pipe right now that I'm editing. One in particular is the witch skin workup, so that'll be coming to you. We have a lot going on right now, especially with the big move. So we've been focusing more on the longer form tutorials. So we're going to have some more stuff coming out for you this week.
We shared a crazy photo of the changes, right?
Yeah, we've been extremely busy.
This is crazy.
Now, the CJ Player, why the brush on versus the rattle can primers? This is kind of the theme of the day. Thank you so much for that first time chat.
So, you kind of, the reason, okay. So, the way that I try to explain this to people is you try and think of a couple of different things. One, not everybody has an airbrush, right? A lot of people are afraid of using airbrushes. They don't feel comfortable spending the money on that kind of equipment, or it's just too much of a hassle and they want to use something else. Some of those people don't like using rattle cans.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that I have communicated with that only like to hand paint the primer on their models. It does take longer.
Yep.
From a process perspective, there's no doubt about that. However, there are some pretty cool things that you can do with it, like being able to blend your primer layers together with wet blending, which we showed on the last model. The other thing as well is, in times when you are in a situation where you don't have access to an airbrush and you don't have access to a rattle can, but you want to start working on a project, what solution do you have? You either take a bottle of airbrush primer and you hand paint that on a model, which, if you've ever tried it before, doesn't work great. It works fine. It just takes a couple of different layers, or a couple of layers of like painting it on, letting it dry, painting it on again before it starts actually painting on appropriately. Because of the way that the airbrush primer lays on your model when it's not being pushed through an airbrush and atomized, the paint tends to bead up and pool up on your model. This is because of the lower viscosity of the paint in relation to how smooth the surface is of a plastic or resin model.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, having something that's specifically formulated for hand painting or hand primering your model is invaluable in those sorts of situations. It takes a lot less time and you get a much better result from it.
Wiggly Shrimp has a question. When I use the brush-on primer, how long should I wait before I slap paint on it?
You can tell it'll look dry to the touch. So when you look at like this model, right, you can tell that this model is dry, right?
Or yeah, I mean, some you can see a little bit in the recess there, but it's.
And this stuff's durable too. Like I'm brushing at this pretty hard with my hand, and it's not coming off.
That's pretty good.
So like I'd have to really dig at it to try and scrape it off. So you can handle it pretty well. Obviously, this is just one really thin layer, like I was talking about. So if you did a second layer and let it completely cure, because this isn't even completely cured, right? You can still see some spots, especially in these arms, where it's a little bit more shiny in the deepest crevices there. I don't know, Chris, if you can see that very well on the camera.
Yeah.
In the kind of deepest recesses of the arm.
Yeah. There's
that little shiny spot.
Yeah.
Is where that paint is still wet.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of this is all dry, even though it's a little patchy and it's a little shiny.
Right.
It looks really nice and fully covered.
Yeah, it's got that black is great. Now, when doing the white, do you typically do a couple layers for you personally, or not really? And then you just let it be your tooth that catches the paint. Yeah.
So like I said, it kind of depends on what you're painting afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So like I'll paint this part here. Is not quite 100% dry. I'll let that sit for another minute. So I'll paint on top of this area on the cloak here in just a second, and you'll see what it looks like when you put a second layer on, and you're going to notice that it's going to give you way better coverage than that first layer did.
Panic bomb. I didn't exactly need brush on primer until I do end up needing it. Yeah, I think it was Bud who was saying it earlier. A couple people were. The touch-up potential is really good. Just like for black, primer is, because when you're handling like a bigger model, for example, you can't always put them like on cork or like a painting handle or something like that.
Well, and think about it this way.
Yeah, it's a great way to do it.
Think about repriming all your base rims. Like,
yeah,
using the brush on black primer for that is amazing.
Oh yeah. I guess I've always thought about just like using satin black, but the primer actually is great. That's a great idea.
Well, especially if you're like, with us, because we don't typically paint our bases after we prime them until the very, very end. So we end up doing a little bit of touch-ups on those bases. And doing the touch-up with the black brush on primer instead of just doing it with the black primer out of the airbrush is going to be so much nicer the second time around.
Source, but Baby J doesn't need brush on primer. He has the airbrush right there for when he reprimes all of his models. That's true.
It's true. And when it is appropriate to use
and heck, he doesn't even need that airbrush. We'll just grab a rattle can and do it.
True.
Now we can do it by hand.
We can do it by hand too.
We have
this will
three
be really
versions.
nice. This will be really nice for shows.
Yeah.
Because like,
well, yeah,
for us,
yeah, actually,
I have to prime these for shows, and I typically don't have an airbrush to do it.
Or if like you have an example that you're wanting to show somebody,
Right.
Do they mix okay with inks? Asked TK4. Do they mic okay with inks? I'm assuming you meant mix there, TK421.
Yeah, so when it comes to mixing these with non-primer paints, you are going to reduce the primer effectiveness of the paint. There's that second layer, by the way.
Nice.
So see how much more opaque you get with just that second layer?
That's looking great. Swifty Bear, this is why Dolce moved to sales. He just sold Chris on the brush on primer. Absolutely. and you know, this is, I've said this before, but you know, the single painter format, obviously it's not the, you know, Jason and I talk about this all the time. It's not the bar type setting, but it really gives us a chance to focus in on something, right? Like right now, a specific demo where we can show you all from start to finish some of the product, right? That's the whole goal of this education piece. And with one person, especially Jordan, who knows our product and knows our paint, this is the kind of the best case scenario. And for everybody who is just now joining in, welcome. We released our brush on primers today at that link. Get them while they're hot.
Well, they're always going to be hot. We don't have cold primers.
Wiggly shrimp. Can't wait to get my hands on these. Truly ideal for me since I live in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of people who are always, you know, asking, hey, I don't have an airbrush and I don't like to use spray primers. How am I supposed to get my models primed?
Quite often, too.
You'd be surprised how often that question comes up.
Yeah.
You know, you get used to the fact that, you know, your process, you know, I mean, my process most of the time includes an airbrush or a rattle can.
Yeah.
But there are some very specific instances and more applications than you might think where having the brush on primer is very helpful. And touch-ups is probably the biggest universal one, right? Being able to touch up paint that you've already applied, that's chipped away, giving a nice base coat layer to it again without having to reprime the whole model, right? Because you only want to hit that specific little spot. You don't want to throw paint all over the place. And with an airbrush or with a rattle can, you have way less control over where you put the primer.
Michael Paints Minis. Thank you so much for that sub. 2 months. We appreciate that. Question from Brando. Will they double duty as I'm going to read this question to you correctly. Will they do double duty as can I airbrush them if I want to? Like, are you talking about, Brandon, are you talking about through the airbrush or on top of them with an airbrush?
Where is the question?
Oh, yeah, right here. Yeah.
Will they do double duty? As in, can I airbrush them if I want to?
Like, are you talking about through the airbrush?
No. So they're basically just asking, hey, will they hand paint and also airbrush paint?
Right.
You can. This is a pretty thick paint, much more so than you're used to. So you'd have to have a pretty large gauge airbrush needle to spray it. You could thin it down, but like any other primer, if you're thinning it down, you are, like I said before, reducing the quality of the primer effectiveness, right? You want that paint to stick to the model really well. And anything that you add to it will reduce the quality of that sticking, power.
And definitely, just kind of going off that question, if you have an airbrush, you might want to try the airbrush primer.
Yeah, also we make a primer for that.
Yeah, obviously, you could, but we definitely also have a product for that too. But just so that you are aware,
Yeah,
it'll
if
probably
you
be a lot more, just a more pleasurable experience.
if
I
you
would say.
airbrush prime, it's usually going to be a better situation in most cases to have mostly the airbrush primers.
Yeah.
However, it's still probably a good idea to pick up a couple of bottles, at least one of each, so that you have them just in case you're in a situation where you need a little touch-up primer bottle, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of talked about it being like the perfect like painter's toolkit or painter's first aid kit, where you're just like, I need this little thing. I'm not in my normal situation of being able to fix all these problems. I just need a little bit of touch-up paint or touch-up primer to get the ball rolling, right? I'm not even going to bother priming the back of that right now.
Lumberjack Tim, the old primers brush on too. Can you brush on the old white to compare the coverage?
So the coverage is not necessarily what I'm going to be worried about. It's how it applies to the model, right? So I can show you guys really quick. Let me grab a little bit of black and a little bit of white.
Teachman, nope, just black and white, no gray. The gray, we did a little example of mixing earlier, but no, we just have the black and the white. Oh, and Super Duper John, 4-month sub. Thank you so much.
Nice.
We appreciate that. No, you cannot fire Chris yet. Unfortunately, you don't have that many points.
Chris, you're fired.
Whoa, Jordan can't do that either. I stand by that, chat.
All right, so you'll notice that when I'm painting this on, it has a tendency to pull back. You can see in those little areas right there where it's pulling back on you, right? With this primer, let me get this a little wet so I can wipe it off.
No thinning needed, by the way, Zazin. He's not thinning it.
So that was with the airbrush primer. And with the paint on primer, or the brush on primer, I should say.
Nice.
It just paints on like a normal paint. Right? You can see how thin that is, and there's no beating up on that at all. And then again, you can even see on the palette, if you want to switch over to the palette.
Yeah.
See how this is beating up on the palette a ton? That's how you can see the difference. And see how much thinner this is, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It works pretty good.
It's a great example.
But
not as good as the brush on.
Not as good as the brush on.
Right.
And this is a pretty matte surface that I'm applying it to. Something that's like plastic. Let me see if I can get... Oh, here. This will probably work a lot better. Like the side of one of these.
Oh, I'm going to zoom out for you a little bit. There you go.
Oh. These are pretty good. They're still beating up a little bit. But the smoother the surface is,
that's
the more
glossy.
it's going to beat up. Right? Oh, here. There you go. Old water bottle, right? Jason's water bottle. Right? See how it's doing that? I don't know if you can see that good. But it likes to separate in the middle.
And that's which one I missed what you were.
This is the brush on.
Yeah, right. Pretty good.
Not beating up at all. Just paints on like normal paint does. So that's what you're getting, right?
Yeah, it definitely.
Versus
I gotta
this.
Get some of this for my bag.
To this. it's a perfect little, this is back to our airbrush primer. You can see how much thinner it is. This is right out of the bottle, right? It's really thin.
Yeah. That's a good example.
And it's not that our airbrush primer is bad at doing brush on. So like if you have the airbrush primer and you really feel like you need to brush it on,
Yeah.
it works.
Right.
But this is specifically designed to work better for hand applying primer.
And Lumberjack Tim was specifically talking about the white on the model.
Yeah, I mean, I can show you the white too. It's going to be the same deal.
I'm going to zoom in here for you real quick.
Yeah. So this is the airbrush primer.
That's the airbrush primer.
Get a little bit of fresh brush on.
So what are the main difference in coverages? Because Lumberjack Tim is saying it looks about the same, but what are the main properties that you would find different there? It definitely is a lot thicker when it comes to just right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in this application way easier, right?
Takes a lot less effort to make it get
Really
on
smooth,
that surface.
Right? Look at how patchy the top part is, and look at how much smoother and better coverage you're getting on the bottom part.
Yeah, and it's also, pooling at the top a little bit, but yeah.
This goes where you put it, where the airbrush primer, because it's thinner, because it's designed to work with an airbrush,
Yeah.
will bead up more and it will have less coverage.
Nice. For all of you just joining in, welcome. If you have questions, be sure to tag me so that I can see them. We are not testing out. These are tested. Our new primers are live right now, and here is the link to our brush on primers. Boop. Oh, there's the boop. Yes, the matte varnish is also added today as well, so you can get that right now, which here's the link for you. There you go.
And then as far as putting other paint on top of it, I'll just grab some turquoise. So you can see a brighter color versus a darker color.
Now, Jordan, when you're using the white there, the cloak is that second pass there, right?
This is like 3 passes. I've done some thin passes to build it up. But it's much more solid now.
Yeah, that's good. But I don't typically always go for the white. Ooh. What's that color you're using?
This is turquoise. So I chose a bright color. Pretty thin. Right on top. It's actually a lot more watery than I want it to be. This palette is a little oversaturated with water. I'm not using the normal paint paper that I use.
Mm-hmm.
But you just paint right on top of the model.
Yeah.
Just like you normally would. Works exactly the same.
Nice. Grant, he cannot paint plaid on the new brush on. Alex, have these primers started going out to resellers yet? Not seeing any pre-order / placeholders from the pages, usually from sources in the UK at least.
UK won't get these for a while. Usually when it comes to distribution and availability overseas, it's typically about a month delayed usually. If we can get it out sooner, awesome. Remember, the distributors have to order it, right? So it has to order it. We have to pack it. We have to ship it to them. Usually they have very large orders, so it takes more time to fulfill all of those orders at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, see how much more solid this looks.
Yeah,
I mean that's just one pass with a lighter color too.
That's nice. It definitely makes for the brighter colors to be brighter right out the gate. Also, today, chat, we are going to be painting up Kamar Jin,
which I think we're about to start doing here right now.
Wanted to give you guys a quick showing of that since those went live today. Thank you, Jordan, for showing us those.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Sir Jerkface, yes, the 22 millimeter bottles only. Yes.
So, do we have a full picture of the Kamar Jin?
Oh, the box is right over there.
Isn't it? Oh, look at this.
And our Age of Honor models.
Can I show the packaging?
I think you can. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's a surprise still. They're going live this week, though. So once they go live in the store, we'll show you all of the goodies. I'm pretty sure we can, but I don't want to give it away. You know, I don't want to.
We don't want to steal the thunder from Jason.
That's right. The primers are live. The matte varnish is live. But this week we're going to have Baby J painting up essentially from start to finish.
Yep.
The Kamar Jin.
Yep.
Starting with the black on the brush on primer, the black brush on primer, which is great.
Boom.
Nice. That's great.
There it is.
So you did that about what? You'd say 20 minutes before stream?
And this is a pretty complicated model. This has got like all sorts of ups and overs.
It's
and
probably been about an hour of drying time, essentially.
Oh, it was dry within 15 to 20 minutes afterwards.
Yeah, it dries pretty quickly. But yeah, we're... Let's see here.
Purple or plum, everyone. Purple or plum.
Purple or plum?
Purple or plum.
Hot pink base coat, Baby J.
Well,
somebody give us a hot.
You lose your voting privileges.
Liquor.
You've lost your voting privileges.
Did you reprime that one Jordan started? No, Jordan, nope. We did not.
Jason's is right here. Don't worry, it's safe and sound.
That's right, it is safe and sound. Plum, three votes for Plum. Oh, little Billy, public enemy #1, giving me the ruse, giving me the old jabberoos right out the gate. Panic Bomb's going purple, dark plum, plaid plum. Mo, you're on to something.
Dark hot pink.
What?
No, I'm just messing with you guys.
Give the people what they want.
I don't think that's the right plan.
Punisher, 50-50, purple plum. Ooh.
Purple plum.
I see you've not changed at all, Baby J. No, same old Baby J, but grown into an adult J.
The adult J has arrived.
Adult J Cabana.
We're going to start with royal purple.
Hey, we're going to start with royal purple, everybody.
So, one of the things that I'm going to be starting with here is I want to establish, like Jason often does, a really nice undertone for the model.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be probably spraying most of this in this royal purple.
That's great. Ugh, chat. If you're just aren't already just loving or haven't tried our royal purple, it's just fantastic. Papa Chicken, Baby J loses 10,000 points, gives chat a chance between two, and then goes with option 5. That's true. Baby J, I'll bring you up to speed. There are things called Chris points now. Sushi points.
Sushi points.
That's right. People lose them, people gain them. Who knows? It's all right. I give the people what they want, and then I take it away. What's the name of this model again? It is Kamar Jin from our Age of Angra game. These are going to be going live this week, so stay tuned for that. Ooh, I love that royal purple. Paint liquor. Royal purple is the best purple that's not hot pink. That is scientifically proven. Bud, order placed. Nice. Finally got to spend some of that Christmas money. Nice. You'll love those. Are you using thinner or just glaze and medium for the airbrushing?
I'm literally putting it right out of the
it's
right out of the bottle. Bam.
That's it. Right there. Boom, boom. That's all she wrote, folks.
Look. Bam.
Oh, Law Dog. Yeah, it's definitely get on them to keep restocking. Keep trying to support my LGS, but I can't remember a time that they've even had a 1/10 of your rack stocked. Yeah, it goes quick. But yeah, definitely
What's the name of your store?
Yeah. Hey, we have a direct connection.
Yeah.
His name's
You
Baby.
realize that
Adult J now
I'm
is
the guy
man.
who can go call up your store and be like, yo.
Yeah.
I was on stream the other day, and one of your regulars was like, yo.
That's a good point.
Why don't I have more of this rack stocked?
That's true, actually.
I will unironically say that to them.
No, it's true. Law Dog, shoot
Or
Baby J
ironically, I will say that. I don't know.
Discord message. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. Let's get you guys some paint.
Chris giveth and he taketh away. That's true.
Chris don't know how to take it away.
Baby J, you just lost 10 points.
I'm
You went from Baby J to Adult J to Adult
trying
J
to
to
figure
Baby
out how
J.
to save my butt right now.
The tastiest purple, the tastiest purple on the market. Chuck, no, don't eat the paint. Law Dog, you got it. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. That is what our sales team is here for. We will get you stocked.
Don't mind me. I'm just wiping off these bottles really quick because I got some overspray on them.
Here's a question: is the big bottle primer supposed to be pre-thinned for airbrush?
Yep.
If you're talking about our airbrush primer, yes.
It is formulated for airbrushing. Pardon me, everyone.
What? I don't know necessarily if that was intentional, but hey, have a big model sale, then release the matte varnish. Oh my goodness. Well, actually, you can now have many options. That's the thing with the brush on primers. It gives you options, even if you don't, right? Even if you don't have a need, but some people are like, hey, I can't go outside. I want to have a traveling primer. I want a touch-up primer. It's great stuff. So if you are just now joining stream, earlier we tested out our new, and I keep saying tested like it's a test that hasn't been tested. It is.
Yeah, what the heck?
It is live. You can buy this right now. We demoed, live demo with Baby J, straight from the bottle, straight to the model.
There we go. Ugh.
Wait, we're supposed to be outside. No.
Wait, we're supposed to go outside? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Christopher. He keeps on talking about this outside thing.
But does it hide the details? Chuck, Jason's not here to give me a hard time about the deets and the dutes, so yes.
Whoa, watch yourself there, Christopher.
That's the crowd laughing at me. Super duper. Your brush on primer is only $5. Why aren't you people buying 10? Yeah, it is awesome. My new hobbies, new brush on primers, perfect for vampires. Never need to go into the sun again. That's right, T-Schmid.
All right, here we go. Mixed in a little bit of purple.
Nice.
So we're bringing up the brightness on some of this glowy stuff. The skin.
Zazin's asking, how many models are you currently working on right now, Baby J?
Me?
Yeah,
A
you
lot.
personally. What are you working on right now?
I have an Eldar army that I'm currently working on, which contains a lot of models because it's a full army.
Yeah.
And what else am I working on? I'm finishing up that that Nurgle demon that I painted while I was at Christopher's. The other day.
We had a paint night over at my place. Flapjack Nicholsack's asking, how's that Golden Demon entry going?
Man, that's rough right now. It's I'm gonna be honest. Getting that done right now is low on the priority list.
Yeah.
With all the changes and stuff that's been happening here at work, and the fact that I'm going to be out of town for the better part of March.
Right.
It's just, I was out of town for a lot for the holidays.
Right.
I was out of town this last week for...
You had some stuff going on.
Yeah. It was just...
A lot going on.
Life is going to life sometimes.
Yeah, life can do that to you. A lot going on around the office. We essentially remodeled the office. We moved people. We built walls. We painted. We cleaned carpets. We built desks.
I'm sorry. We cleaned carpets? You cleaned carpets?
I cleaned the carpets, yes. But just in general, we have all been getting a bunch done. So it's been an awesome accomplishment by the team. But we're getting things done. And for all of you who are just now showing up, welcome. Jason always says, I like you guys that are just showing up better than the people who are already here, so I have to have a negative version of that. So I will say, welcome in. Where have you been? The negative side.
Where have you been?
There's the positive and the negative.
What the heck have you guys been doing all stream?
That's right. We tested out nothing today on stream,
Whoa.
but we demoed. I like this. Now I'm gonna make it. I'm making it a full bit. It's beautiful. It's a full bit. Check out our brush on primer.
Who let this Christopher guy in here?
It's awesome. It's a great touch up.
Yeah,
it's very good for touch ups, chat. So scroll back in the video, and you'll be able to watch that live today. Awkwardish. I've been head down painting on my demon piece. Nice. Little Billy. Props to Chris for being able to do so much between recess and lunch. Yeah, Little Billy. Between my nap time, recess, and lunch, there's just not enough time in the day, Little Billy. Also, Baby J, I don't know if you saw the leaks for Emperor's Children Codex, but my condolences. I feel your pain.
A friend of mine did show them to me. I am very happy that I chose Eldar. I'm very happy I chose Eldar.
Oh, not good. Oh no.
They very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. I think it's one of those situations where it's gonna be rough for those guys.
Spaznet, yeah, live today, watching primer dry. Yes, we did a demo of our new brush on primers. So here, I will send a link to the chat here. Here we go. We got the brush on primer right there. Boom! And now we're painting up Kamar Jinn. And our Age of Angra models will also be going live this week. Big week.
It is
We've been talking about this for a while. We're going live. It was a demo, everybody. It wasn't a test. It was a demo. Same thing.
I don't know, Chris. You seem pretty convinced that it was a test.
Wow, chat. Now, Adult J is on your side? What is this? Karma for being mean to Chris, Little Billy. Yeah, crying as I finish painting EC units that I've never added to the codex. Hey, Little Billy.
Oh, yeah.
It's not karma. It's just reality.
It's not karma, it's just reality. What kind of person are you, Christopher?
I'm coming for you, Little Billy. No, Little Billy and I, he's public enemy number one. He's my nemesis. It's all right. Hey, little Billy.
I was talking to some friends that were on a podcast
Oh, yeah?
the other day.
Are you famous now?
No. Gosh, I hope not.
Oh!
And
Sorry, thank you.
and they were talking about the windstorms.
The
and
windstorms?
Yeah, in Seattle. Come on.
Oh.
Spatsnat's talking about windstorms, man. You got to keep up with chat. I'm reading chat.
I
Come
understand,
on,
but how bad are these windstorms?
well, they knocked out power for one of the participants. 5 minutes later, it knocked out power for another one of the participants. And then 5 minutes later, it knocked out the last one as it moved north.
Oh, my gosh. Fired. Yes, little Billy. My job is secure today because Jason's not here firing me.
It's okay.
Unless he comes in right now.
I haven't been fired
He's
in a
not
hot
here.
minute.
Jason is out today. Jason is going to Gamma with the crew. Philip and Kyle are at Gamma this week.
Yeah, they're there right now.
Yep, and Jason will be joining them. Zaz and I hate the wind. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of wind.
Wind is lame.
Wind is lame.
Wind is lame.
Yeah, so here's the deal, chat. We got Baby J this week. Big week for Baby J, who is now Adult J.
Who is now adult?
Who's your eye, Baby J? I actually thought EDC had some cool aspects. Where would where World Eaters underwhelming to start? Question mark. Were they?
I don't know. I don't pay that much attention.
Okay, what are you doing now?
All right.
Is this Ultramarine?
So
Or
this
Faded
is
Ultramarine?
this is Faded Ultramarine.
Oh, nice.
So
I just saw your cup up there.
I've mixed this 50-50
Okay.
with glaze and wash medium.
Yeah.
And now we're going to glaze this on top of the work that we've already done.
Oh, wait a second. Live. Come in, Gabe. Gabe, where are you going? Live from Phoenix, Arizona. Gabriel. Oh, now you're going to hear the airbrush. Now you're going to... There it is. Okay. Folks, we're pausing everything right now. Big news coming. What is it? What is it, Gabe?
If you are and have been waiting, you meander over to monumenthobbies.com, click on Monument Miniatures. We've got 3 new miniatures on the store, one of which may be being painted right now. Wow, you're just really spamming that in there. You're just really going hard on that.
Folks. Live from Phoenix, Arizona. Those are live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Gabe. Claps for Gabe. Thank you for that announcement, Gabe. Oh my gosh.
Hello, goodbye, Gabe.
There it is.
Have fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Gabe. Gosh, I hate that guy.
Gosh, I hate that guy.
Whoa!
Chat,
Whoa!
you guys are letting Chris have too much fun.
Papa Chicken, so excited to paint Devondra. Oh yeah, these models are dope. And they are live.
Shall we show some of the other ones that
Yeah,
are there?
you know what? This is a perfect time. So, just a little segue here. The Angra models are now live on the store. So get them while they're fresh out of the oven. And Baby J did the other 2 box art pieces. Art of Mike Disney, welcome in.
Painted them on stream, actually.
Yeah.
In the yesteryears.
Ghost Hunter, no, Alex is not in stream today. Little Billy, real question for Chris. Retardedly, but what armies are you running for 40K and what are you most excited to paint? Oh, thank you, Little Billy. A nice question, and Moed Art, thank you so much for that raid of 17.
Whoa.
Welcome in, Raiders. Wow.
Welcome, Raiders.
We got
Hello.
great. This is a big one, Raiders. We just dropped our new Age of Angra models. One that Baby J is painting up right now. Kamar Jin.
Yep.
I just put that link up there. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for that raid.
All right, so we've got the Kamar Jin, right?
Yeah. Show us up.
One of the great things about the Kamar Jin and the rest of these models is you're going to get a really cool card that goes with it.
Yep, that's right.
It's got the art for the character on it. But also, has a playable in-game
Card.
card
That's right.
where you can put
You'll be able
model
to
on
put the
top.
model on top of it right there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's super cool, chat.
Amazing. You can thank Gabe for that one.
That's right.
We'll show you the cards for the other ones here really quick.
Yep.
We have Devondra.
Devondra. Yeah.
And we have Danav.
Show those. Show yours on those too.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry about
Oh,
it.
here we go.
The front sides. And then, to pair with them, we have
Nice Blood Walrus.
our very own
Check that out.
Devondra.
Devondra. Yeah. Nice. And that was painted by Baby
Goes
J.
Right on the card like this.
Yep.
For your games of Age of Angra. Right?
Very nice. Let him cook.
Let him cook. And then, one of my favorites here, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself,
Boy.
Danav.
Nice. Big, nice miniatures. Just got to look dope on the table.
You can see that we did a little bit of a kind of a change in design to bring him a little bit more kind of into a slightly more realistic sort of perspective, because the art is really neat and a little bit kind of that whimsical cartoon kind of feel.
Yep.
But for the representation on the table, we pushed it a little bit, and we brought you these really nice, cool looking miniatures.
Those are looking great.
So, don't forget,
check it out.
Check it out on the website. Our friend over here, Christmas Sushi,
just posted a link, chat.
Has got the links for you.
I've missed a couple questions. I'm going to go back up. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, Raiders, if you're still here. Here's a real question for Chris. But what are armies you're running for 40K? What are you most excited to paint? 40K, I run one army. I run orcs, and I run the big stompy Stompa as my main thing, and then with some Gorkanauts. I run a very big list.
Nooshed it to death, folks.
I nooshed it to death. If you really want to see an example of what a half a bottle of noosh does, I have a video for you that's on my mine and Gabe and Phillips YouTube channel. But yes, 40K. I like orcs. They're fun to paint. I'm currently still painting the Gargants. I've been having a real good time with those. TK421, Gabe comes in and gets us minis. Chris gives us worthless points. Then Chris hate Gabe really hard not to side with Gabe. TK421, copy that. Yes, Chris, drunk with power, need to do something. No, this is just an exciting day. We have so much going on. And here's a real question from Wiggly Shrimp. I've recently swapped over to your paint range and was wondering, how do I go about thinning the paint, both in the airbrush and the paintbrush?
Water is your best
Water.
friend. I'm not even joking though. Really, like, water is gonna do exactly what you need it to do from a thinning perspective. It's gonna lower the viscosity. It's gonna behave really nicely with the rest of the paint. You're not gonna get any sort of weird mixing issues with it. It just is meant to work really well with water. The paint doesn't need anything else other than that. Of course, you can use thinners and flow improvers if you want. Specifically, the properties of what those things can give you. But realistically, water is where it starts and stops. When I'm airbrushing here in the studio, I'm just thinning with water. This mixture that I made, I thin that with water. Just a little bit of water, glaze and wash medium, some paint, and your gravy. And you notice that I'm kind of bringing up these highlights here as I go, starting to add a little bit more contrast. My goal is to try and get as much of this work done with the airbrush as possible, so I don't have to spend a ton of time.
Oh, this is a good question. Chris has got a question here. What color would you use with Noosh to give some Krieg that grim dark look?
I mean, my favorite mix is a brown and a black. So transparent brown, transparent black is great.
Yeah.
You can do like brown black, black brown. Am I crazy? I'm crazy. Oh, I'm great. Black brown. Black brown's a great option for that. Yeah, anything kind of in that realm is really, really good for that. You don't want to go too brown because it's going to be a little overwhelming. But if you just kind of mix it with a little bit of black, it feels really earthy and very normal.
Oh, that's going to look great, Jordan. I'm loving that.
Yeah, it's got to brighten it up a little bit. I'm going to add some saturation back with a little bit of turquoise too, I think.
Another question. I heard thinning with water weakens the durability of the paint against rubbing off.
Nope. Nope. Not the only time where that will happen is if you basically turn the paint into water. You're going to break the paint. And what I mean by that is the paint will start to get all gritty on you.
Yeah.
And basically what's happening is there is a little bit of science class for you guys while I'm cleaning out the airbrush. So paint is basically your pigment suspended within a mixture that allows the pigment to remain separate from itself. So pigment by itself is naturally very hydrophobic, which means that it tends to not want to mix well with water. So it'll tend to like clump up with other pigment and create chunks. It's also not water soluble, so you can't mix it into water and have it dissolve, right? Like salt or sugar, right? Those are water soluble. They break down in water. Paint pigment does not do that. So you create a solution that will allow you to suspend the pigment within it in such a way that the pigment basically is enveloped, each particle of pigment is enveloped in the solution, and it stops the pigment from binding with one another. And what this does is this effectively creates like a network of kind of a net that's keeping all these pigments separate. But what happens is, and you can think of like a grid, right? And inside all the cells of the grid is a pigment that's next to one another. Well, what happens when you thin paint is you're basically stretching this grid apart. And after a certain point, the grid will start to break apart. And those pigment particles will no longer have a barrier between one another, and they will start to clump together. And you'll see this when you start to thin your paint and you get to the point where it gets really gritty. It's very common for newer pro acrylic painters to see this happen because they're so used to having to thin their paints down so much with other brands like Citadel or AK or Vallejo, where it starts from a much thicker base and then they have to thin it a bunch. Our paints are really thin out of the bottle, so they tend to get to that lower viscosity much quicker than the other paints that they're used to. So there's a little bit of an adjustment process there. And we see that a lot with people who are new to painting with Prochrome, is they'll over thin their paint and it'll get nice and gritty, right? So that's why you don't want to over thin your paints. If you really, really want to get that true like ultra glaze application, mix glaze and wash medium into your paint first to reduce the opacity of it, and then thin it down. That way you can reduce the viscosity to a point where it's still paintable, but it's more translucent. Because that's realistically what you're looking for. How are we doing with questions over there?
Doing great. I am basically grabbing all of these links to make sure everybody saw the new brush-on primers, the matte varnish that went live. We had a lot of new little launches today, and I want to make sure everybody saw their stuff.
Yeah, we were not expecting the models to go live today.
No,
we were told that it might be.
Yeah, it was. Gabe came in and We did it.
What's the over-under on Gabe just tricking us so that he could come into stream and look cool?
No, I have the proof.
Yeah?
I've got
right in
all
front
the
of you?
links. I've got all the links that I'm sharing. And here's the map. Varnish also went live today as well. And the miniatures. I'm making a big old link here. Let's see if this works. Get ready.
So we're going to take another look at Kamar Jin here. And we're going
Here you
to
go.
see
3 links for you.
where we need to get to from where we're at. So we're kind of in that like
Nice.
darker mid-tone area.
It is a really dope model. Very
we need to brighten
flowy.
this up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's definitely like glowing a little bit. Her head is glowing quite a bit more. So how do I want to do this? I think I'm gonna add a little turquoise into the brighter areas. That way we get a little bit of saturation.
Yep.
Let me mix another one of these. So we're gonna take turquoise. Taking 6 drops of turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do, where's my glaze and wash medium at? Boom. We're gonna go 4 drops of the glaze and wash medium.
Is this for the airbrush, Mr. Jordan?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then a little bit of water, just a little spurt. Don't want to have too much water in there. We don't want it to be super duper thin.
It's a really cool model.
This is going to be a really great color because it's going to give us that glow feel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to start here at the bottom. And then we're going to start kind of doing a little bit of this spray, giving these little areas of brightness.
Ooh, I like that color.
Nice little shadow.
Nice.
Right? It's just gives it a little bit more pop. And this is our goal, right? We want to create contrast without losing all that work that we've done before.
Yeah.
Right? So we keep that purple undershadow, the faded ultramarine. Oh yeah, I really like this. This is working really well. And then bring it up here. I hit the shoulders a little bit with it. The forehead. Because this part's going to be really glowy. So we're going to make that really intense. Hit the back part of it the same way. And you can tell when I'm doing this that I'm doing really short spurts with the airbrush. I'm pressing the trigger down and just holding back a little bit just to give a little spurt of color. I don't want to go too heavy with it. It's really important. That we keep all the vibrancy where it belongs.
Is Angra a person, place, or thing?
It is a place.
Now this Kamar Jin is
Actually, it's if I recall,
it's the entity.
yeah, it's the deity.
Now remind me of this workup again, Jordan. Remind me of your workup here again.
So this workup is
Specifically the blue you're adding, the turquoise.
This is just turquoise and glazed wash medium.
Okay, gotcha.
Plus a little bit of water.
Just a little bit of water. Okay, got it.
Yep, that's all it is.
And what age are they? Papa Chicken, that is funny. This is really, I really am digging this color. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just now tuning in, welcome. Yes, death. But we just launched our brush on primers and did a demo earlier today. So check out earlier in the stream. You can scroll back, right? Definitely check that out. We just released them, the black and the white. And then we also released the matte varnish, which we will be testing tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And when I say testing, we're just showing you it because we've already done that. Chris is just hyper dyslexic and can't speak for himself. I might be dying, chat. This could be it. And we also released our Age of Anger models today. Gabe came in midstream and was like, hey, they're live. And yeah, Baby J is the king of the reprimes. So now Baby J has 3 different ways from Monument Hobbies to reprime your models.
It's true. I'm the master of the reprime. I fear not the primer before me or the primer after me.
Yes, words are very hard for poor old Christopher. What's the black rubber or plastic on the airbrush? You talking about the grip?
This grip?
That's a grip.
This is a feature of our Grex airbrushes, which we sell on our website. It is a custom grip with our Monument M on it, you can see.
Mm-hmm.
We partner with Grex to make these airbrushes. These are fantastic. Normally it would have a little thing on the back. We just keep it off while we're in here in the studio.
Flapjack Nickelsack, what's going to go live on the site tomorrow? Oh, we don't know. Nothing right now, I don't think. Today's a big day, Flapjack Nickelsack. Give us some slack.
Give us some slack.
All right, cool. That was an awesome thing. What's happening tomorrow?
Your face.
My face?
Your face is happening tomorrow.
Chat.
I talked with Gabe. We talked it over. What's happening?
What do you mean you talked it over with Gabe?
Decisions have been made.
Excuse me?
Decisions have been made. Carry on, Christopher. Do carry on. Worry not.
I don't know, chat.
For that which lies before you.
Jordan knew the happy fun time go time. We voted.
All right. Well, you know what else we voted on?
Monument Jabe in the chat.
Adding.
No more sushi on the island?
That's not going to work for me. Sorry, chat, but I'm going to have to pull this chat around.
All right, chat. We're throwing in a little bit of bright pale yellow into our turquoise mix. I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. This is going to be much brighter. And this is going to be that kind of final ethereal layer of paint. Added a little bit more water here.
Hey, Jordan, did you know that we have a fart button up there now?
What do you want, Christopher?
I said, do you know that we have a fart button up there?
Christopher, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my goodness, Chad, I'm so sorry.
Oh, man. Oh, that one's that. Oh, it's that last one, dude. Not good. Oh. We have fun here. You only get a couple of those, chat. That's it. Okay, here's a quick question. I like yous asks, I love your paint, but I have a quick question. On my wet palette, after 2 to 3 hours, the colors get these bright spots that are dried pigment changing the color. Am I I am in a very dry climate. Interesting.
So you're gonna want to make sure that you keep the moisture on your wet palette pretty consistent. So as it starts to dry out, you want to continuously add more water to it, and that will help with stopping the paint from drying out. It will naturally dry out over time. I don't ever keep a wet palette paper from day to day. I always start with a fresh one. So you can use that as a good guidebook of making sure that you're... one sec, sorry. This is a particularly tough spot.
Ooh,
Yeah,
it's
so you
looking
want to
good.
make sure that when you're using your wet palette that you keep it really moist. Especially in a dry climate. We're out here in Arizona, so I have to keep adding water to my wet palette.
Yeah.
Usually it's pretty good for one full session of stream, which of course is 2 hours. If it's really any longer than that, I'd have to reapply water to it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I don't know where you're coming from, but Arizona is very, very dry. And especially this year, we've had a very dry winter. So, definitely can attest to the dry climate. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome for the advice. Any questions that you all might have, definitely tag us and I'll get to them. If you're all just tuning in, welcome, and why are you late?
welcome, and why are you late?
Today was a huge day. I just posted a link. You're from Colorado. Awesome.
Okay, so dry and cold.
Yeah, gotcha. We released our brush-on primers today. We did a demo earlier today on stream, so definitely scroll back and watch that. We also released the matte varnish, and we'll do some tests of that tomorrow. Does that sound good, Jordan?
Yes, sir.
Really show y'all the power of the matte varnish. The power. Then, Gabe so graciously came into the room today and said, hey, new Age of Angra models, which Jordan is painting right now, have gone
This
live.
very moment.
So, huge day. Little Billy, the only thing drier than that is Chris's personality. Oh,
Dang.
Little Billy.
That's
There-
brutal.
Oh, I clapped for you. Oh, I'll give you that one, Little Billy. That was a bomb drop, though. I'll give you that one, Little Billy. I'll take it. All right.
Christopher's sad.
Come for you, Little Billy.
Can't tell.
I'm
He's,
coming for you, Little Billy.
He's been one-upped.
I am the knight. I am vengeance.
You are not vengeance.
Baby J can't hear me when I talk way down
You
here.
are the terrors.
He can't talk to me when he's way down here.
in the memories of children.
I'm coming for you, Little Billy. You have no idea
Why
what's
are you
gonna hit
terrorizing little children?
I'm coming for you. 5 big booms for Little Billy. Here's another one. No, I'm not doing that 5 times. Chat, you only get a few of those. That's it. We've agreed. You only get a few of those.
You alright,
Wow.
Christopher?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
Chris angrily giving chat some ASMR. I would never do that to you.
Christopher, what did we talk about?
That's
we
all
talked
right.
about this.
This is a big day. I love big release days. I like trying new things. How matte? Ooh, this is a great question. How matte is the new matte varnish? Pretty matte.
Yeah, I mean,
It's in the name.
It's a matte varnish.
It's actually very, very good. And we're going to show you guys some demos of that tomorrow. It's already 3:31? What? Oh.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm feeling pretty good about this for it being 3:31.
I think this is looking really good. This model also definitely just looks great with the airbrush. Like, it just has a lot of cool, wispy, wavy things
Oh yeah.
that just make it work, right?
I think we're good for hand brush from there on out.
Oh, really? You're done with the airbrush?
I think so.
Nice. I'm going to turn this thing off.
Oh no, you can leave it on. Just annoy yourself. That's fine.
I won't. There's no Dave over here anymore.
Yeah, so well, let's turn it
my
on.
kingdom now, chat.
You're
This is
just-
my kingdom.
You're just next to the big office full of a bunch of stuff.
That's
Or, I'm sorry, 2 offices full of a bunch of stuff.
3 offices filled with a bunch of stuff. What are you talking about? I got this one. I got that one. Everybody's got an office that's filled with stuff. Wow. Huge day today, chat. If you are just now joining us, welcome. Where have you been? Baby J is painting up Kamar Jin over the next, 4 days, including today.
I'm happy that I'm as far as I am now because I've got a limited amount of time to get this.
Hey, I
This
mean,
model
right
cooking.
now, this seems like a huge portion of it.
Yeah,
It's
we
looking
got
good.
we got another 27 minutes left too.
I know, he has the Sarlacc pit. He's cleaning that out. He's getting too close to the pit.
Too close to the pit.
It's that thing there. The Gorge of Eternal Peril. Da-da! Ba-da! Dun, 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 dun. Da-da! We
And
don't show
OK
that.
Guardian's got a good question here.
Here we go.
Read it for me, Chris.
But does Jordan ever have any aspirations of competition painting at some point? Tell us your history, Jordan.
So I have not done a ton of painting competitions, mostly because I mean, for a couple of reasons. One, for most of my career,
Yeah.
I have worked for a studio, so I've been involved in judging the painting competitions more than I have had an opportunity to enter them. I've entered one, which was, believe it or not, actually Nova Open back in 2018, I want to say. So it was some time ago in a galaxy far, far near, because it was in this one. So I don't do a lot of competition painting. I've, painted a lot of box art in my time, working for, various studios, Privateer Press, Atomic Mass Games. I've done work for a lot of groups.
Baby J's the man.
I would love, Ghost Hunter, I would love to go to Monte Sansovino.
Monte Sansovino.
That is a genuinely it's a tough trip to do, right?
Yeah, and that one especially is a tough. I was so close.
I know.
I know.
Yeah, you guys should have heard it from Chris.
I actually really
This
tried
guy-
to. I really tried to get there.
Did you?
I did the math of how to So I was in
Tell 'em the
Italy
story.
this summer, and I was very close to trying to go because I was there at the same time. The problem was with the previous plans that I had made. The place I was at was about a 3-hour drive, so it just didn't work out. But I would like to go to that show. I
love
watched
to.
all the Instagram stuff on. It's very cool. Oh, let me go back here. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Yes. 5 is right out. I can quote too much of that movie, chat.
I need to watch that movie.
What? You've never seen it?
You know I've never seen it. This conversation has happened before, Christopher. It shall happen again. So you can see what I'm doing here, guys. Dropping bombs for Christopher Maxushi. And also doing some edge highlights here. This is actually just hand applying that same color that we were just airbrushing with. The reason I'm doing this is to give a little bit more vibrant and intense application of the color while still getting really nice smooth layers. We're doing a little bit of kind of smudge blending with my thumb or with my finger there. And we're just trying to make this a little bit more intense. Do a little bit of edge highlighting here along the edge of this really sharp line.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of the Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
So we're going to follow this line as it...
TK421. I am now expecting him to fly off the bridge. What is the capital of Iceria? I don't know that. Ah!
What
Only
are you
get a couple-
talking about?
I'm talking about Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Why are you quoting Monty Python and the Holy Grail? It's just some movie.
Yeah, Colonel, he shattered my dreams of him ever watching good movies. Jordan was really sheltered as a kid, not allowed to watch movies. Were you allowed to play outside at least? What is your favorite color? Blue. I mean, yellow. Ah!
I don't get it, chat.
First, thou shalt take out the holy pin. Then thou shalt count to 3. No more, no less. 3 being the number thou shalt count, and the number of the counting shall be 3. 4 thou shalt not count, neither count now 2, excepting that thou then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. Once the number 3, being the third number, be reached, then lobbeth thy holy hand grenade of Antioch towards thy foe. Being naughty in thy sight, shalt not it. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. You only get one of those, chat. That's it for me. Good night.
This is proof that Chris...
Yes, Iterator. I have many of those memorized. It's dumb. We are now the knights who say, icky, 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 putong, rude boy.
What is happening?
They'll know. They'll know.
What is
Yes,
happening?
none of this would happen. No, Jason likes that movie. Jason loves that. Bring me a shrubbery. Oh my gosh. It's not good, chat.
How
10,000
hilarious-
points for Chris. Thank you. Thank you. What's that?
How funny would it be if I went and watched that movie and then started quoting it around the office around Jason?
It's just the quotes that I have.
No, different ones. So it's just like, what do you mean? I thought you've never seen this movie before. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
The Brave Sir Robin song, I do know it.
Chris takes a drink of water, preparing.
Bravely bold Sir Robin rode forth from Camelot. He was not afraid to die, oh brave Sir Robin. He was not at all afraid to be killed in nasty ways. Brave, 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 brave Sir Robin. He was not at least bit scared to be mashed into a pulp, or to have his eyes gouged out and his elbows broken, to have his kneecap split and his body burned away, and his limbs all hacked and mangled, brave Sir Robin. His head smashed into his heart, ripped out at his liver, removed at his bowels, unplugged at his nostrils, raped at his buttocks, ripped off at his penis. Oh, that's enough there, lads. Looks like there's dirty work afoot. That's all you get, chat.
Christopher, you have consumed that movie more times.
Sir Robin ran away, bravely ran away. No, I didn't! He bravely turned his tail and fled, and bravely turned his tail and fled. Yes, Sir Robin turned about, and gallantly he chickened out. Bravely taking to his feet, he breathed a very brave retreat, bravest of the brave, Sir Robin. That's it, chat. You only get 2 of those. Just 2. That's it. Too many nights. Too many nights lost, chat. No, thank you. I'm here all night. Hey. Chris, I think it's time for me to be nice to you again. Hey, that's it, chat. You only get a couple of these. It's a big day. We got launch days. We got Chris Hype Day because of the launches. We have Baby J. It's fresh. We're here.
It's ABJ time.
No. I am here for the greater good of chat. That is my new mantra.
I'm here for the greater good of chat. Hey, chat.
All this will be yours. What, the curtains? No, not the curtains, lad. I'm done. You only get 3 of those, chat. You only get 3.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, no.
Want to tell me about swallows?
African or European? I don't know that. Oh, no. She's got huge tracts of land. That's it. All right. I'm enough. All right. Okay. Links in chat. Big release day. Huge.
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome in, everybody.
What are we if not entertaining?
I will bring it down a notch. Welcome.
I don't
This
think
is
he's
Baby
capable.
J. My name is Christopher, and welcome to Monument Hobbies. Today we released brush-on primers. demoed fully by Adolce Cabana about an hour and 40 minutes ago. Well, no, an hour and 30 minutes ago. Fired. Rehired because I need to finish the sentence. Welcome in, everybody. If you are just now tuning in, welcome, and how dare you for being here late on such a glorious, glorious day. What a great day it's been. Wow, I'm over here just tired as a little cat, chat. What a day. I'm so excited. We have Baby J, releases, Ongra Minis. Gabe came in. He's like, oh my gosh, I got Ongra Minis. I'm like, what? You only get a couple of those, Flapjack Nickelsack. You only get a couple, chat.
You've spent your allotment for
Why
the
so
day.
tired, Christopher? I don't know, man. Just the hype, dude. Just the hype, T-Schmid.
All right. I shall watch the movie.
No, you don't need to. You have me. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of enemies.
What?
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. That one, you're not gonna get. You've got to watch it.
Oh, boy.
All right. You guys can see I'm pushing some real bright highlights on here. The goal is to glaze over these in our previous color to bring down some of that intensity. What I want to do is I want to add a little bit more flow to the swirls to make it feel as if it's moving. And the more of that kind of swirl we can give it.
Little Billy. I can't do that one, actually. That is one that I have to... What do you know if she's a witch? She looks like one! What else floats in water? Grapes, apples, very small rocks, cider, lead, a duck. Exactly. So, logically, if she weighs less than a duck, she's made of wood, and therefore, a witch. They dress me up like this. Did you dress her up like this? No. Little Billy, hopefully that got us the 3 bottles. She turned me into a newt. A newt? I got better. Buy her anyway. It's so good, Jordan. It's so good.
You know what's funny? I have seen like
yes, little Billy. I know. A duck. Who is your lord? We don't have a lord. What? Look, strange women lying in ponds. There's no... I can't even get through that one. Hey, I made another sale. Whoa, little Billy, my arch nemesis. Hey, little Billy, you're not going to go wrong with those brush-on primers that we demoed today. I'm exhausting Baby J, if you haven't all. He is left-handed. Yes, Baby J and Jason are both left-handed. Small side note for all the filmmakers out there having to build a studio for painting. It's glorious to have left-handed painters. No, it works out that you don't have to change the angle for our 2 painters. Big painters in the building. It's wonderful.
It also just randomly works out very well for a lot of things sometimes from a recording perspective. Christopher and I, even today, had a moment where we were like, oh, it's very convenient that you happen to be left-handed.
It is, yes. Oh, yes. Voldemort. Hey, I haven't seen this guy from years. He's going to paint blood. No blood today. Paint Kamar Jin, Voldemort. We just released our Age of Ongra minis today.
Paint some glowy gin energy.
That's one way to put it. Here are the links. Chat, it's been a wild ride today, but we have released our brush-on primers, black and white. Demoed that earlier in stream, so go check those
He's
out.
getting it, chat.
We're getting it.
He's getting it. The man, he's beginning
Any
to
chance of a
understand.
larger paint case than the OG one? Now, Bill Kelly, that's a great question. Are you talking about our Evo bag? Because that one is definitely bigger than the original ones, if that's what you're talking about. So that is way bigger. But oh, sorry, Sir Jerkface, that was me. Oh my gosh, Griffin Gaming. Harlow, thank you so much for that raid of 33. Welcome in, Raiders.
Hello. Welcome, Raiders.
Woohoo! Griffin Raid.
Griffin Raid.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much for all Raiders just coming in. I was just giving our spiel. We released brush-on primers today, Age of Ongra minis today, matte varnish today. Oh my gosh.
It's been a busy release day for us. Lots of cool and amazing tools and toys for all of you to check out.
Oh, the one with the 2 trays in it. I don't think so, Bill Kelly. I don't think it is getting any bigger than that. Otherwise, we'd have to have a duffel bag. But what I do with that, Bill Kelly, is I typically, you can buy the inserts separately, right? And then I trade the inserts out if you're going over that amount of paints. But, you know, that's up to you, I suppose. But no, there's not a bigger one, I don't think, in the works. Yes, brush-on primers, yes. They are live today. We did a demo earlier, so check that out. They're black and white brush-on primers.
The very model that you're seeing right now was painted with such brush-on primers.
Yes. So they're not appearing in this film. That is what I would love that's what I am right now. Typically, I'm behind the camera, chat. We do that on purpose so I don't overwhelm anybody, because I already tire out Baby J and Jason all day.
Christopher can be...
Especially when I get on one here, and I've got this little just hype of launch day.
It's difficult oftentimes because Jason and I are up here doing our duty to Monument Hobbies and to our community. And Christopher is just hanging out with you guys, watching the paint dry.
That's right.
Also doing many other things.
Oh, show Bill Kelly the bottles of the primer.
Of course. Pardon me momentarily. Whoop, whoop. We've got brush on primer, black.
Yep.
And brush on primer, white.
Yes.
Black Fox Kitsune. So your paints okay, so when it comes to getting product in the UK, here's what we always recommend. You can purchase them directly from us. However, you're going to pay through the nose for shipping costs as well as import fees, etc. To avoid such fees and extra costs, you can order locally from Element Games or Wayland Games in the UK. They are our distributors and can facilitate your acquisitions of said product. They are wonderful people. They are great. We love to have you guys support our distributors and our local game stores outside of the United States. Danger Gerbil, what a great name.
Danger Gerbil.
We do have plans for a gray brush on primer, and that is mixing the white and black together. Normally,
we did a little demo of that earlier too.
We did do a little demo of that earlier. You can actually see a little bit of it here on the model where we mixed them together to get the gray. This is the black primer. Works great. The other thing, so the reason that we did it this way is so that people only have to buy 2 bottles. The black obviously is going to be a pretty go-to for everybody. And if you get the black and the white, it gets you gray as well.
Yeah.
So there's no need to buy the gray by itself. And since you are going to be hand applying these, it's easier to mix them than it is to like with an airbrush, you don't want to mix it and then throw it in the airbrush. You can just throw it in the airbrush. This stuff, since you're putting it on your palette anyways, it's a lot easier to mix and get all that sorted. I wonder, could this be a new product? Yes, Captain Mannerings. We have many new products available today.
Yes, Captain Mannerings. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, we released the Angra Minis, the Matte Varnish, and the Brush On Primers today. Here are the links for you again, right there. It's my little chat command. Definitely check those primers out. You can scroll down there, and then you'll see the Matte Varnish. That's a direct link. And then, yes, Baby J has been busy hammering it out in sales, and he is here for 4 days with us, painting up Kamar Jin.
Yep. I am here.
Doing the box art for Kamar Jin here. And if you're looking to pick those up, the links are above. Captain Mary's. No, I have mentioned it. Today I have been on top of it.
Christopher.
That is sarcasms from Captain Matterings, I bet.
Christopher has been on top of his
I'm very
duties
excited.
today.
I think today has been a whirlwind of excitement for everybody.
Especially Christopher. He was able to recite many a line from one of his favorite films.
No stupid questions, Danger Gerbil. Stupid question time again, I'm afraid. No stupid questions. How long does it take for the new products to reach UK distributors after your release days?
Typically, expect about a month as a conservative estimate. Unfortunately, we have no control over the ordering schedules for our distributors. That is entirely up to them. We do not force them to buy new products when they become available. Not to say that I don't think they will. They will absolutely be picking these up, I imagine. However, it does take some time for those orders to get processed, especially because they tend to be quite large, as you might imagine, for our distributors in those countries. There are a lot of hobby nerds in the UK and the EU, and it does take some time to put those larger orders together. And get them to their respectful homes. And then subsequently additional time for them to process the new goods, get them into their systems, and make them available to you guys. So let them know that you're interested in the new products. Obviously, we will be doing the same and letting them know that they are available to purchase on our end. And hopefully we can get some over to you guys in the UK and elsewhere outside the US as soon as possible.
That's right.
Airman's Wrath. Okay, so what's this about new brush-on primers? Yes, we have released...
I'm so glad you asked.
I'm so glad you asked. We have released new new brush-on primers. This is a new product that we have released. These are specially formulated for hand application as opposed to airbrush application. It's a great use for touch-ups. It's a great use for, somebody who doesn't have primer through an airbrush or doesn't have a rattle can available.
Yep.
It works amazingly well. Very quick and simple to apply. You're going to get great solid application on the black. The white will take a little bit of extra love to get some good solid coverage with white. But as far as a base to get your brighter colors on top of, very quick and easy.
And then the cloak is 2 coats and then 1 coat over the mane.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then turquoise over
good
the
stuff.
chest piece area.
Good stuff, chat. Wow, Baby J, it is almost closing time. What a day.
Is it now? Are you
What
sure,
a
Christopher?
day.
Have you looked at the time?
It is 3:56, chat.
I think you're wrong.
How, Baby J and Chris, how do you do this? It's a great question.
We ooze awesomeness.
I'm sorry. What?
Tell them again what they've won, Christopher.
Excuse me? Nobody's won anything except for the pleasure of watching Baby J paint for the next 4 days this Kamar Jin. That is the winner. So in that reality, we are all winners. Every day is a good day.
Hopefully we can teach you guys some good stuff.
Is the black brush on as matte as the rattle can
No.
on camera? No, it is. Chat, our black matte spray primer, if you have not tried that, is the mattest spray can paint that you will find in our industry. It is amazing. I love that stuff.
It really is an incredible product.
And the primers are definitely the brush-ons. I mean, I could have used it the other day. I just had some touch-ups because I'm painting my gargants. Obviously, I can't put those on a handle, like a painting handle.
Yep.
So it was just coming.
Shipping them.
It was just coming off. So, wow. Chris is the true winner. I was impressed with his rhetorical Monty Python on buying more Pro Acryl. Little Billy, we have our indifferences, but we can still sit across the table and converse, even though you are public enemy number one.
Wait, why is Little Billy public enemy number one?
He is. He is my arch nemesis now.
Why?
But a good arch nemesis, a challenging one, one who makes me a better man.
I support Little Billy in this.
Little Billy, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody today letting me. You only get a couple of these, chat. Rare form today. You only get a couple of these. Tomorrow, we're back to business. Speaking of tomorrow, we will be showing off a demo of the matte varnish. Today we did the demo of the brush-ons. Tomorrow will be matte varnish, so stay tuned. You did tell him about that. I did tell them. Yes, that's right, Little Billy. I did not tell him the extent of our rivalry, Little Billy. I've taken points away from Little Billy. He has ribbed me. It's been a back and forth. No. What happens in stream stays in stream, which is not. Oh, Little Billy almost got me again to say, Little Billy. That's right. You can't get me there. I saw what you were doing.
Context for those who are blind.
1 minute. Hey, Baby J, it's closing time.
Closing time. Come on, Chris. You gotta.
I won't do that with you. I'm tuckered out. I'm
Dare,
tuckered out of my impressions and singing.
How dare you leave me hanging, Christopher?
Chat, thank you so much. I couldn't be happier for you all today. What a big day.
We've had a great stream. We've had a wonderful. Actually, honestly, I think this is going really, really well.
This is great. My ears are bleeding. I'm so sorry, Mo, but I'm so glad that you stayed.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. If you're still here from a raid, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for bearing with some of our goobery goofiness.
I say it was justified. What did we do today, Jordan?
We did many things. It's been a busy stream.
Yeah.
First thing we did, we showed off our new brush-on primers. We have the black brush-on primer as well as the white brush-on primer that you can use to prime your models and your miniatures without any use of rattle cans or airbrushes.
Yep.
Use it with a brush. Makes it so simple, anybody could do it. We also took some time to start painting the Kamar Djinn. This model is going to be our final studio paint job for the Age of Angra miniatures from our wonderful new game as of last year, Age of Angra. You can get that on the store, which our fearless leader over here, Mr. Chris Masucci, is going to put up links for. So make sure you guys click on all the links. We got the store link up there where you can buy all the wonderful products that we have released today. Oh, also, sorry, hold on. Special announcement.
What?
Special announcement.
What is that?
We've already talked about it. Chris is like,
whoa, there's been so many.
What are you talking about? No, we also have our matte varnish out today as well.
Yep.
So,
and we'll be doing a demo of that.
We will be doing
tomorrow.
a demo of that tomorrow. We will not
First
be testing
thing.
it. We will be demoing it.
We'll be demoing it. Breaking news. We are having a great time today.
We are having a great time, you guys.
Thank you all so much.
Brush-on primers, white and black. We have matte varnish on the website, and all three of our Age of Angra models are available now on MonumentHobbies.com. Check out the store page. Check out our FLGS link to find all the local game stores near you where you can find the wonderful products that we make. Soon to be out there is going to be our brush-on primer, as well as our new matte varnish. Miniatures, we're going to wait and see and figure out the situation for that. So
miniatures are out.
No, retailers.
Oh, right.
We're figuring that out.
Yes, yeah.
So we'll have more information on that.
Yep.
And then I will be back tomorrow and the day after that
Painting up some Kamar gin.
and the day after that. Painting up the Kamar gin. The one, the only. You guys are wonderful. It's been so great seeing you again. Getting unshackled from the basements with which they keep me on a regular basis. Don't forget to check out the Discord. Ghost Hunter has reminded us we have 5,448 knights who say, "Nee."
It's so funny because he hasn't seen the movie, Chad.
In the Discord with Jordan looking confused.
We are the knights who say "Nee."
Also something about a release but smaller today.
Thank you so much, everybody. We are going to find somebody to raid, so stick around. Baby J will be back tomorrow, and everybody have a great night.
Bye-bye.